Only if you know Grace Robbins would you know that. We had a great time.
We did.
And this is going to be our guest coming up. Mr. Pete and Mags had the privilege and the honor to run into the lovely Miss June Foray.
Absolutely.
Voice of so many people, including one of my favorites, Rocky J. Squirrel. So we're going to run a little piece of tape, and then we're going to come back with the one and the only June Foray. So roll that tape, please.
We'll be right back.
Oh, listen to that applause. Pathetic.
Time again for Bullwinkle's Corner.
Thank you, Rocky. Today's poem is that intimate story of life among the royalty, the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer's day. They look good, Queenie. What kind are they?
Soybean, rutabaga, asparagus, and turnip.
Turnip? Turnip tarts?
I use my health food cookbook.
Well, on with the poem. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them clean away.
Stop thief!
Come back here, you tart napper! The King of Hearts called for those tarts and beat the knave full sore. The Knave of Hearts gave back the tarts and vowed he'd steal no more. Oh, you don't get off that easy. You stole 'em, friend. You eat 'em.
You know, you won't believe this, but we're actually back. Yes, while you've been enjoying that short clip from Rocky and Bullwinkle, Mr. Pete, Mags, and the lovely June Foray have been here for probably about 45 minutes. But in honor, I had said I'd do this. In honor, I will put on my Rocky and Bullwinkle Bullwinkle J. Moose, because we have the lovely June Foray, the voice of so you can get. Look at this. Look at the applause. She hasn't experienced the thunderous applause like this since she took the garbage out at home.
Hokey smoke, I wish I brought my goggles.
She said it in her voice. Well, you know, I'm doing this because we did the parade and we June Foray, and there's now an incredible resurgence in Rocky and Bullwinkle. We're not allowed to be.
It never stopped.
Oh no, truly,
No,
it never did stop. But you can make a buck now, June, like you haven't made in years.
I don't need the money, darling. I just want fame.
And fortune.
Wash my mouth out with soap.
And the Bullwinkle tapes have been purchased by the Buena Vista Disney people.
Right.
And are now being released, and
they're first.
And they're what?
They are first. They beat out everybody.
Oh, did they?
Yep. You read Billboard and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think the number 6 is like 8 or something like that. Yeah, they beat out Pretty Woman, everything.
Wow.
Yeah. You can't get a whole set. You know, you go into a Music Plus or any of the record stores, and you could maybe get 1 or 2, but you can't get the whole 6 because people buy them as fast as they come in.
Well, let's find out some stuff about you.
All right.
You know the voice about. I want to know, what were you doing right before Rocky and Bullwinkle started, which I think was it 1959? Is that right?
Yes,
Or was it earlier?
1959.
So what were you doing? Let's just say 6 months before you did Rocky and Bullwinkle. What were you doing?
I was recording a lot of characters on the Warner Brothers films, like, you know, Granny and the little old lady who owns Twitty and Sylvester, and I was doing Witch Hazel, you know, with a hairpin, and oh God, working at Disney's. I was doing everything.
So you were doing Avery stuff?
Yeah, I did some things
That
with
stuff's
Tex
just
Avery out at
incredible.
MGM.
I always know.
Yeah.
I always remember because it was like white Irish pupil. Tex Avery always had eyeballs flying out of his people's sockets.
Funny man, and yet he was a very introverted, sensitive man. You would never expect Tex Avery to be quiet and unassuming.
You're right. You would think he'd be really bizarre.
He wasn't. He was. I wouldn't say he was insecure, but he always worried about what would happen. You know, he was an incredible man.
So you were brought into doing Rocky and Bullwinkle by who? By Jay Ward or Bill Scott or?
Jay Ward. He called my agent and said, do you know a man named Jay Ward? And I had never seen Crusader Rabbit before.
Crusader
I had never
Rabbit,
seen it.
sure.
I'd never heard of it.
And rags.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
boy.
And anyway, he said, well, he wants to take you to lunch. And I had been doing all of the Stan Freberg comedy records. Stan Freberg and Dawes Butler and Mel Blanc and I were put under contract to do all of their children's albums. And then we did all the comedy records. So Jay had heard my name before, and he knew that I had a versatile voice. So he took me to lunch. And after a couple of martinis, I said, boy, I think that's a great idea, moose and a squirrel, you know. And then we did a pilot a week later, and funny. Then I didn't hear a word. Never heard of Jay Ward again. You know, it's in some sound stage in the sky, you know, the pilots where they go to die.
Oh boy, do we. Yeah, Mr. Pete died at some sound stage. Not yet, though. But.
So, you know, you never think about that. So, exactly a year later, my agent said, remember that guy who took you to lunch who had an idea about a moose and a squirrel? They're ready to go.
A year
And we did.
later?
Hadn't heard a word. There were no rumors. I didn't even think about it because I was busy doing all of the Hanna-Barbera stuff and working in animation. And by golly, we went on in 1959.
For how many years?
From 59 to 61, we were on ABC, and then from 61 to 64 on NBC.
Now, was that, I don't remember, was it prime time or was it
7:30 at night.
7:30 at night?
Yes, sir. It was wonderful.
Boy, they haven't done that in a lot of years, haven't they? Put on a cartoon prime timing.
Well, it was really for adults. You know, Jay Ward would make no compensation for children at all. You know? None.
Screw the little kids.
That's what he said.
For the adults out there.
That's right.
So how many a week did you do? Did you do one episode of Rocky and Bullwinkle each week, or did you do a couple a week, or?
No, we did 5 shows in one night. Not the half-hour shows.
The little
5 segments, right. We do 5 Bullwinkle segments in a night.
And 5 fractured fairy tales in the night, you know.
With Edward Everett Horton.
With Edward Everett Horton.
And how old was he when you were doing those things?
God, I think he was in his late 80s.
Oh my God.
And, you know, usually somebody from the stage or in film, you think, well, you know, they're going to have to memorize lines and they're going to stumble over
Right,
their
sure.
lines. He came in and he picked up that script and he read it and then he would give his funny little laugh, you know, at the end. And then he'd say, well, I've got to go play tennis. And he was. I mean, he was incredible.
And did you ever do any ad-libbing, or were those
No.
scripts just too good?
It would have been sacrilegious, Pete, the timing would have been wrong. Everything was written so precisely and so funnily, and the puns came just at the right time.
And how many voices did you do on the Rocky and Bullwinkle show? Were
Well, I
you Nell?
did Rocky and Natasha, and of course I did Little Nell. I didn't do Horse, but I did Nell.
And all the little, you know, the fairy princesses, the little Brooklyn princesses.
No fairy godmothers, you know. And,
You weren't Sherman, were you?
No.
No?
That was Walter Tetley.
Ah.
Yeah. But Bill Scott, who was one of the writers and a co-producer, he was the voice of Bullwinkle and Dudley and Mr. Peabody. And Dawes Butler, who was Yogi Bear.
That's right. Yeah.
Dawes played the little effeminate prince all the time in the Fractured Fairy Tales. And, of course, Hans played Snidely Whiplash in the Dudley Do-Right. And then Charlie Ruggles came in later. And he worked with Dawes, and they did Aesop and Son.
Oh, sure, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, we went on to do George of the Jungle later.
Oh, that was after I wasn't watching cartoons then, but I remember George of the Jungle.
Yeah, I played Ursula and Marigold and Tom Slick.
And
then we did the Fractured Flickers.
Oh, Fractured Flickers was just...
Yeah.
How many years was Fractured Flickers on? That was a primetime show, wasn't it?
I think it was.
I think it was. Yeah.
I think it's on cable.
It
quite a
is.
bit
It
now.
is on cable. I still watch it.
Well, I don't get any money from it, but I guess.
Oh, you
but
should.
That's all right. I don't mind.
Do what Peggy Lee did. Sue them. She won that lawsuit at
I
Disney.
know she did.
Yeah.
But I think they'll carry that to the Supreme Court.
She'll
if
probably be dead. God rest her soul. Hope she does.
Yeah.
Before she gets the money.
Right.
And just recently you did Roger Rabbit. Not
Oh
recently,
yeah.
but
Oh yeah, I
Charlie
did Roger
Fleischer.
Rabbit. And I just, a couple of weeks ago, I recorded the Fairy Queen for Don Bluth. He's going to do Thumbelina. I've got a Garfield special coming up. I've done quite a few Garfields. I'm Granny in Tiny Toons. So I'm working, darling.
One of my favorite lines, it wasn't yours, it was, I used, stroke, stroke, bail, bail, stroke, stroke, bail, bail, stroke, bail, stroke, bail. That one killed me, I don't know why. And, from years, and, well, it was always, must get moose and mooseberry bush. Because that was their entire
No,
Light.
Moose and Squirrel
Oh.
got to get
Oh,
Moose
got to
and
get Moose and
Squirrel. Well, the Gooseberry Bush. Too.
Well, we're down here at the total bottom of television with June Foray. We are out of time as we have to do here, and this has been such a thrill because Mags and I grew up with Rocky and Bullwinkle, and we met you at the parade. We both looked at each other and we said we have got to have her come on down for the
that's
show.
very sweet.
So even though it was only barely 9 minutes 30 seconds with June Foray, this has been a real treat and a half, and we want to thank Janice Bender over at Buena Vista Home Video. See, remember I told you Mr. P does his own timing?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I see it over there. Stop wiggling your hand like that. Janice Bender at Buena Vista Home Video, and all of you who have believed in Mr. P, you can write to us. You can call. I see it. Don't quit pointing to me. I'm a professional, for God's sake. I'm on the air. You can write and call the number end of the show. We have a couple of more shows coming back on Sunday nights. So get us out of here, and we'll see you back on Sunday nights for as long as we can stand it down here at Pubic Access TV. With me and my boob cat. So get us out of here with the applause because there's nobody here. No. Oh, look, this is like Skippy Lowe. This is like Skippy Lowe.
Coolie hot. Maggie is a slut, coolie hot. Mr. Peter's not coolie hot. Beep Billy O do bop the da shoo. Who? Mr. Pete, that's who. Mr. Pete, Mr. Perfect. I love you. Mr. Pete.